So I definitely feel like you're coming together with another person and you are agreeing to disagree, and you do your thing, they do theirs, and then you guys can reconvene, at a time when you both are okay, and then you can talk about things. So I feel like this month is all about, the different ways in which people live their lives, and the ways in which we allow other people to live their life unencumbered and, without imposing any type of standards, restriction, judgment on them. So I do sense this is a very, very good month for you to, I feel like, to understand what another person is going through, to understand that whatever they're doing is appropriate for their station, where they are in their life. And while you might not do those things, while you might not agree with the way they're living their life, it's not anyone's lot to judge another person. So I feel like there's a sense of wisdom coming through, where if you care about somebody, you just want them to be happy no matter what they're doing. As long as you feel like they're happy, you're gonna live and let live. So I definitely feel this maturation process, growing of growing up, accepting other people for the way they are. So I feel like work is definitely high on the agenda for a lot of you. I see you and another person, like you're doing your thing, they're doing theirs, and I feel like even though it's a collaborative type of situation, everyone's got a very specific role, and no one is really stepping on each other's toes. No one has to get the consent of the other person in order to get their job done, and that's just like exactly what kind of environment that you enjoy and you would thrive in. You need a lot of independence and you need a lot of freedom in order to do things creatively. So if you have recently, allied with somebody to do some type of a creative project where you both can benefit financially, I definitely see it starting to get off the ground. You're doing something, you're probably the one that's doing the creative aspect, and they're doing the financial aspect of it, so everyone's got their specified role and everyone's working together. There's a lot of harmony, there's a lot of healing, acceptance, and it's just a really, really beautiful energy. Now, so that's the main thing coming through. In the background, like in the periphery, is I feel like there is something here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. If you have recently undergone any type of, illness, or have undergone, like, gone under the knife, I feel like it could be, elective, or elective surgery, or even something that is required of you. I definitely feel a lot of healing is coming in, and I'm feeling a lot of you are starting to feel good again. So if you yourself, or you have dealt with somebody who's going through, surgery or some depression and things like that, I feel like this is the wake up time, where they start to, pick up the pieces of their lives, or they're starting to heal, and they're taking the first step outdoors, and they're admiring everything around them. Okay, so this sense of immense healing, emotional healing, physical healing is coming through, especially for those of you who have dealt with this, are personally going through it, or are dealing with someone who's going through it. So I feel like you're starting to emerge again. Okay, and you're looking very, very strong and healthy. In Also on the periphery is what I'm feeling is, there is going to be some type of an event. Okay, I feel you surrounded by a lot of people, and you're gonna have to speak, like, you're in the limelight, so you're gonna have to give a speech. That's what I'm feeling for some of you. And I feel like it starts out really serious, and then you take like a very like 180 turn with this speech, and you make it very, very humorous, and you make it very charming, and you make it really, you're able to make it your own. So it starts out with this area of seriousness, and then you know how to, play on people's emotions, and I feel like you're doing some really rapid sleight of hand, and it becomes like a very, very humorous spin. So it's quite interesting, and I feel like you're gonna get very good positive reception, okay? What's coming in as well is I definitely feel there's a lot of exchange of information. I feel like a lot of information coming through and a lot of like technical information as well. So you might be in a position, if you're starting new work, if you are even starting new projects, there's a lot of technical information that you have to learn. So this means, being open, receptive, and absorbing technical information. I feel like you're ruled by fire, and the fire, the wands energy deals with a lot of creativity, okay? And oftentimes fire signs, you're the type to like head in first, ask questions later. So a lot of the times you feel like that might be the best approach, and that might be how you've been conducting yourself and living your life in the past. But I feel like there's something a little bit different here where you are going to have to do something in a more planned out, in a more systematic, and in a more technical manner. So that means reading all the instructions first before you jump in. That means getting the groundwork, the knowledge foundation stabilized first before you can rush in, okay? And I do feel if you do that, things are going to go really well for you financially and in the work environment. So you're working amongst a very in a little bit of a rigid system, but I do sense that it's providing you with structure, and it's providing you with a way to better organize your creativity, plan your time, and organize your thoughts so that long term you can work anywhere, okay? So don't try to fight it. I do sense it's going to be good for you, and I do feel that you're going to be okay. You're going to actually really enjoy how effective this system works for you, okay? So it's a really good 2 weeks, I feel, to be, open-minded, to be um, accepting of new things, new ways of doing, new suggestions from other people as well, okay? Else I'm also getting is I feel like financially you're in a really good space. A lot of you might be thinking about, I'm really happy right now with job, with my work. There's this overall sense of contentment. And a lot of you are just like, what's my next step? So I feel like forward planning, future planning is something that has been nagging at you for the past 2 months. So, in we are in August. So since June, you've been thinking about this, but life has been very busy, and there was a lot of friends to see, things to do, social outings to go to, and you haven't really given it serious thought. But I feel like this is the month in which you are thinking about these things, and you are going to lay down some solid plans so that you can figure out what your next step is going to be, okay? I feel for some of you too, possibly there has been like a long-standing significant relationship where you both have drifted apart, where I feel like the relationship, like you care about this person and they care about you, but you both don't have a common vision. And I feel like that is something, if that sounds familiar, I feel like the relationship is balanced, it's very harmonious, it's very good, but you both don't have, that it has dragged on for quite some time, and you both care about each other and you're afraid to let go. And I feel like this relationship is going to be dismantled for this month, because I feel like within the past 2 months you have grown apart, and you might not want the same things in life. One person might want family and kids, and the other person doesn't. And one person might want to live in the city, the other person wants more space in the suburbs or in the countryside. So I definitely feel like a lack of common goals and lack of common vision, lack of common interests. So that relationship might come to an end, or you are thinking about, what to do about this relationship for the next 2 weeks. And I do feel like it's a very, very I genial like parting of ways. I don't feel it's gonna be, hail and brimstone and door slamming. I don't get that at all. I feel like it's a mutual parting of ways, and you both will remain, friends in the future. So I do sense like for those of you who are dealing with that, I do feel that there's you're kind of looking forward to the future, and you're trying to, think about what's the next step in my life. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to live? Is the current place of employment, is the current place where I'm living serving my needs? I feel like a lot of you might be burned out, honestly, from socializing, or you might be feeling like the group of friends that you hung out with in the past are no longer, you don't have that sense of a strong emotional connection anymore. So you might branch out when it comes to, acquiring new friends, making new friends, getting involved in more group organizations where you are going to be like more like-minded. A lot of you might be thinking about school. I feel like a lot of thinking. And whenever you come up with a plan, I feel like, you do it right away. I just want to say that, it says here in about 2 months' time, that's the best time to do it, okay? In 2 months' time. So that's going to take us like mid-October, and I feel that's a better time to do it. And like for example, if you're thinking about school, most of the courses start in September. So if you miss that, then you're gonna have to wait until next semester. So if that's the case, if it's school and it starts soon, then by all means do it. We have Mercury in retrograde throughout most, well, yeah, majority of September, so it's not a good time to start new things. But if you have left school and are thinking about returning, then it's definitely a good time to return. Okay, Mercury in retrograde is a good time to redo something, to go back to something and finish up something that you started in a previous time frame. So there are a lot of planning, there are a lot of thinking, and I feel that you're in a really good space and you've healed from some recent breakup. I feel as well like physical healing, emotional healing, and moving forward, and being very optimistic about your future. What I'm getting as well is if there's any type of a competition, I feel honestly you are going to come up on top, okay? So I've got the Ace of Swords, which is the victory card, the Six of Wands, which is another victory card, and the Magician. So no matter what, like your words are going to um stop people in their tracks is what I'm feeling. Like you're going to be a very good, effective communicator. You're going to get a lot of respect, a lot of accolades in any type of a public setting, in any type of a public forum. I feel like you're going to be a very, very convincing and persuasive speaker. And I feel like women, children, elderly folks, they're going to look at you and they're really going to listen to what you have to say, and they're going to be stopped in their tracks. So I definitely feel there's a lot of high intensity, like successful energy coming through for you. So it's a good time overall for the next 2 weeks. If you are a salesman, if you are trying to, if you are teaching, for example, if you're giving people technical information, if you're trying to rile up people for a cause, you have the power of persuasion, so use it to your advantage, okay? So Aries, I do wish you all the best for the rest of this month. Take care of yourself, get enough sleep, drink water. Okay, we are in the time still of Leo, and you're a fire sign, so don't work yourself too hard, and cool down. Get a lot of liquids in your system, okay? I'll be back in September. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, so next up we have Taurus. So give me a moment, Taurus. I'm going to get your cards shuffled out. All right, Taurus. So welcome to your mid-month reading. Um, One of the first things that I am sensing here is there's a lot of legal documents that are coming through, and I don't feel like, lawsuits or anything like that. I feel it's more like deeds to houses, changing names, joint account, something like that. I feel like, there's some shuffling that you have to do in the matrimony, in the household, in a more like person on a more personal level that you have to do in your life. So that means, signing legal documents or something like that. I feel like names being signed on the dotted line. I feel contracts, I feel paper, and I feel you perusing through it, and I feel like you're setting up something. It could be a safety deposit box or like just a bank account, and I see you putting money into it. Okay. So overall, that looks good. Whenever I see people putting money into a bank account or a safety deposit box as well, it indicates, a lot of financial abundance. That's allowing them to save up. So it looks good. The other thing I want to advise you is I feel like there has been a lot of financial drain going, like the beginning of this month, and I feel like it's not alleviating until like possibly the 19th or the 20th of this month, okay? Just be prepared for that, and just be careful about that, and try to minimize unnecessary expenditures. Try to avoid, emotional spending, and also buying a lot of luxury items, because I feel like you might not need these things, okay? And by the end of the month, if there's a payment that you have to make, you might find yourself a little bit short, and it's going to hurt a little bit. So just yeah, curb spending until like the 19th or the 20th, okay? Just curb spending. But either way, I feel like there is somebody coming in. There's a large sum of money coming to you from other people. I don't feel like it's from a job. I don't sense it's from like one individual. I feel like it's scattered among different people. And I don't feel like it's a loan. I don't sense that it's a loan. I feel like it's just like some financial windfall coming through, okay? And it's from multiple sources is what I'm sensing. A lot of you are might be relocating for a job, okay? So you might have landed a job. You are moving, picking up the pieces, moving on to a new location. So I feel like you're physically moving from one geographical location to the next. I feel like a lot of you, you're moving from east to west, like you're heading in a western direction. And I do sense like there might be some difficulties procuring housing. So you might, it just seems to me like if this resonates with you, I feel like you might have trouble landing that house or buying that house or renting that apartment. For some of you, it might be because your employment history is not as seasoned. So it's not that it's not stable. It's just, there's something here about not being able to either get that house or get that apartment because you might not have a long or stable work history. And but I do sense it being resolved, okay? I don't feel that you're going to be stuck or stranded. For others of you, I just feel like the housing market is a little bit competitive wherever you're moving to. So there might be a lot of contenders for the same spot, and it might be difficult. But either way, I do feel new work coming through. Like, if you're waiting on that job offer, if you have recently moved and you are looking around for work, I definitely feel that coming through. But it might pay a little bit less than what you're used to or what you anticipated. But I do feel it is going to pan out very well and very nicely for you. And I feel like a few options might come in, so you get to pick and choose what you want to do. So, don't worry too much about it, because I do sense like you are where you're meant to be, is what they're saying, and things will work out. It just takes a little bit more time, okay? We're also in September, so the Mercury in retrograde, I believe it starts on August 30th and it's going to continue until September 22nd. So, Mercury in retrograde is a time to revisit things rather than to start new things. So, I feel like there might be a little bit of a delay for the next phase in your life, but excuse me. Excuse me, Taurus. but I feel that it's going to work out well. So don't worry too much about it, okay? What else I'm also feeling is for those of you undergoing any type of like, legitimate legal issues, what I feel is that it is going to take some time to get it resolved. And I feel like September, something indicating September is coming up here for, legal issues, especially when it pertains children, when it pertains like dividing up assets, or if it pertains like dividing up something. So I feel like this is more like marriages, custody issues, alimony, and things like that. That can also create a little bit of a financial drain for you. So you might not have all the information yet as to what's being divided up, how they are being divided up. So it's best to keep your money up close and don't overspend, okay? Especially until like the 20th of this month or so. I do feel as well if you are dealing with an air sign, okay, so this is a an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, and I feel like this is somebody you've been dealing with for quite some time. Um, I do sense there might be a dismantling of that relationship, okay? If you're dealing with them in a marriage situation, or in a romantic capacity and you've been with each other for quite some time and there has been some sort of like talking over one another, emotional distance, emotional rift, emotional disconnect, trust issues especially comes up, I definitely feel that relationship is going to come to an end. But it says here that it will be replaced by a new relationship. So I feel like one person is has recently left and then one another person is coming in, or one person is about to leave and then something else is verging right around the corner for you. So I definitely feel that relationship is not going to be tumultuous. It's like a smooth transition. What else I'm also seeing is if you're dealing with an air sign, excuse me, if you're dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, I feel like I feel like you might have been together, but you don't very have very much in common, and it's a compatibility issue. Okay, I feel like you want different things in life. You have different interests. So I feel like two people together in a relationship, but there is this emotional disconnect. Like everyone is living their lives independently. It seems like that. And I feel like if this is a new person and you're starting to catch this, it's really important for you to find things that you both can do. So, for example, if they're like a homebody and well, let's just say if you were the homebody and they're very into like the social scene, going out, drinking, and having a good time. Find something that neither of you have tried before and do that, okay? I feel like it's going to be good for you. And I feel a lot of like making proposals to do outdoor activities, to join a sports team, to do some type of outdoor activity together as a couple. I feel like that's really going to allow you both to bond emotionally. So, it's something you both have not tried, so try that, okay? Rather than one person going to accommodating the other and just not having a good time because you both are so different. Try something that neither of you have tried. It's going to work out well. So that's for those of you who have like a new air sign in the picture. For others of you dealing with another earth sign, I feel some immense like a new phase in the relationship that is going to start. Okay, so this could be moving in together, this can be taking the relationship to the next level, this can be, I feel, joint finances. I feel like two people potentially fixing up a home, cleaning a house, or like I feel like there might have been a recent apartment or house purchase or something like that, and I feel like you're buying things, nice things for the house as a couple, and everyone's like working in different sections of the house to clean it or to decorate it, so it looks really really positive. For others of you who are single and things like that, I feel like you have some options. It's not like you don't have options. You have I feel like a water sign, an air sign for sure, and an earth sign. Okay, so you've got some options. And what I feel is happening is that a lot of you, I feel like you might just be longing for this really, really. It's sort of like you feel like you might have had a misconnection with somebody, and I feel like you're thinking about this person from your past who is potentially very attractive. They're like very free spirited, and they're constantly in and out of the picture, not because of their flaky, but because their lifestyle. They're very transient. They come and go. Okay, and you might have been caught up with this person for quite some time, like thinking about them, not being able to move on because of them, because you like them. And I feel like this is the month in which you are going to have to bring these fantasies to back down to earth, and really, try to be proactive about, creating the love life that you want. So I feel like you are going to go out and socialize with these other options or offers that are available to you, okay? So overall, it is going to be a very other oriented month. I feel like you're going to be in contact with other people, and you're going to put some plans into action. So I do wish you the best, Taurus. I'll be back in September. Best of luck with everything. So next up we have Gemini. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to lay out your cards. So, Gemini, mid-August 2016. Okay, so next up we have Gemini. So, Geminis, the first thing I'm getting here is like, I feel that you yourself could be traveling a lot and seeing some amazing sights. Okay, I'm getting deserts, I'm getting like oases, I'm getting just really, really exotic places, and I feel like very hot climate, um, like very deserty, very dry, hot climate coming through, and amazing sights. Okay, so you could be physically doing this, or you are looking at somebody who's got a very, very vibrant lifestyle, luxurious lifestyle, even. I don't feel like decadent would not be the right word to describe it, but I feel like they're traveling a lot. You're probably looking at pictures of them going on their adventures, and I feel like some of you wish you were there, or someone is doing this to you. So that could go both ways, but I feel like you're looking at somebody who is doing this, and you wish that you were along for the ride. And a part of you, I feel like you might be dating this person and they're going on a vacation, and then you're just like, oh, I wish I were there. So there's that sense of like regret. There's a little bit of a loneliness, coming through. Okay, so I don't know if this has happened already, or if it happened like the 5th of this month and you're still looking at pictures or what. But I feel like whatever the situation is, I do sense that you should reach out to them, because I feel like they're thinking about you. I feel like they're there for the sight, but I do feel deep down they want a sense of rootedness. They want that meaningful relationship and meaningful communication. So they do want that. And I feel like this is a really attractive exciting person. Um, I'm feeling a foreigner. So whatever, cultural, ethnic, linguistic background you are, I feel like they're different than you. So there's this sense of differentness between you and this other person. I feel like they just travel quite a bit and they're very brave, very courageous. For a lot of you, it could be a fire sign, so a Sagittarius, a Leo, and Aries, but I feel like it's not really, a fire energy. It's just somebody who is spontaneous and exhibits the qualities of a fire sign. They're taking pictures and they're going to some very exotic places, and it looks really stunning. So you're looking at this and you wish you were there. So that's gonna be, that's gonna apply to a few people. It might not apply to all. What I'm also getting is that for a lot of you, be very careful about overindulging, okay? Drinking a lot and losing stuff. Like, I feel like losing keys, losing cell phones, dropping cell phones in water. um, Also, stress eating, okay? Like, I don't know why, but from the 5th to the 9th of this month, and also possibly the 15th to the 19th, there might be a sense of isolation, like someone is no longer by your side. But I feel like they're coming back. It's not like they're gone for good. I feel like they're in and out and they might be traveling, they might be dealing with their own families. So that might put a little bit of a damper in your life and you feel like, stress eating. I feel that strongly coming through. And especially like if you've got children, if you've got like little children, I feel like weight issues with some children, okay? Some young children like teen adolescent, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that age range. Some body image issues, and I feel like someone might tell them, they might get teased if they're like a little bit chubby, they might get teased and then they become really sad about their weight and they refuse to eat. And I feel like, and then at night they're like sneaking out of their beds and they're overeating. So I feel like something like that happening with the kids in your environment if you're dealing with them. If that sounds familiar, I do sense, talking to them, taking them to see like a therapist who can reinforce, positive body image is going to be important for you to do, okay, for them. So I definitely feel that coming through. And at the same time, I feel like a lot of you might be starting new exercise routines or going to the gym a little bit more. And I feel like there might be a performance issue where if you're taking, like, for example, a rope climbing class, a mountain climbing class, and there are a lot of people there, you feel like you're underperforming and you feel like everyone's looking at you. So you feel like you're being judged. But I don't sense that's what's happening. I feel like it's just, it might be just, a sense of awkwardness and insecurity at first, but this situation will definitely alleviate, okay? So just hang in there, don't give up because they're not judging you, they're not making fun of you or anything like that. So if you're dealing with that, I'm very sorry, Geminis, but it did come in kind of clearly, okay? So just hang in there, hang in there. Um, Everyone is there for the learning experience, so I don't feel you have much to worry, okay? And if you are suffering with some body image issues, I do sense that you're definitely on the right track, going to the gym, getting active. And the thing about exercise is that we do it for our own health, and we also should keep that in mind. It's not about losing weight, although that's always nice. It's more about being healthy, feeling empowered, feeling strong. Okay, so those are the objectives that we should aim for when we hire a personal trainer, when we enroll in some type of an exercise class. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I definitely see like a little bit of wanting to change your appearance, wanting to look a certain way. And I'm glad you're taking the steps to do it. So don't give up on it. Okay, whatever you start now in terms of some exercise regimen, I do feel you're gonna see results right away. I feel like 5 weeks time, which is a really short amount of time if you think about it. 5 weeks time, you're gonna notice huge differences, like a huge difference. So that's gonna be the end of September or so. You're gonna notice a huge difference between, now and then. So keep at it, okay, Geminis? The other message I'm getting here is I feel I feel a lot of overindulgence, some drinking, okay? So if you are dealing with somebody who has drinking issues, I'm feeling like, I feel like a major personality change with this person when they drink. And I feel like when they're sober, they're very, very organized. They're very caring, very nurturing, and they're very sweet, and they have a great sense of humor. But I feel like when they are intoxicated, they might not even have a drinking problem. But I feel like every time they deal with alcohol, their personality changes drastically. And I feel like when their alcohol is in the system, no matter how small, a few drops, a few liters, a few pints, they become like aggressive and they become a little bit weepy. So I feel like, opposite ends of the spectrum here. Some of them get weepy, some of them get really aggressive, and you don't want them to drink. And I feel like for those others of you, you might be dealing with this issue where someone tells you, "Hey, you need to stop drinking, or you need to like just cut it out altogether." And you tell them, "No, I know my limit. I don't have a drinking issue, but I feel like even if you have like a glass, it still affects you, and other people are noticing." And I feel like the behavioral change, the personality change is as drastic as night and day, and you feel like you didn't drink that much, or the other person feels like they didn't even drink that much, but the personality change is pretty drastic. So if this sounds familiar at all, it might be time to take what other people say to heart, okay? So take better care of your health, and especially cut down on drinking if you can, because I feel like it might affect your relationships. It might affect your relationships. I feel like for some of you who are going through this with a fire sign, so this is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. If you've had like, arguments and disputes and not being able to see eye to eye in the past, I do feel like I feel like these problems are alleviating, okay? And it's alleviating mainly because I sense that for some of you, they might be going on vacation. You might take a break from one another. And I feel like you're missing them, okay? They are also missing you. So I feel like it's a mutual reception, okay? Reception of feelings. So I feel like you are missing them. They are missing you. I do feel they will come back into the picture. And I do sense when they do come back in the picture, you will pick up where you started, okay? Where you left off. I'm sorry. You will pick up where you left off. And I also feel like there's a lot of longing. There's a lot of like I wish things were different, I wish like it were a different way. And I'm also feeling as if I'm also feeling as if a lot of you are longing to have to have a very exciting life is what I'm sensing. You're looking at pictures, you're looking at greener pastures elsewhere and wishing you were there. So if you're like on social media and you're comparing your life with the life of another person that you wish you had, someone who's like traveling a lot, someone who's very attractive, someone who's like always visiting different places, seeing different people, and taking some amazing photos. And I feel like you're taken in by it, and you want to have their life. You feel like their life is really exciting, and you feel almost like your life. You're comparing yours with theirs. And keep in mind that, with social media, it is only the persona, okay, like the facade, and you're not seeing the nitty gritty details behind the scenes, like all the things that people have to do to take that perfect snapshot, to take that perfect selfie, right? And if they're constantly, running around to different locations, and if they're doing this for fun and excitement, you also have to wonder, like, Are they are they like really content? Because I feel like either way you're only seeing the facade, you're only seeing the aftermath. You don't know what it took them to get to that point. Okay, so keep things into perspective, and it's good to, look at what other people are up to, but don't compare your life with theirs. And I know that's easier said than done, but I do sense that people are only portraying their best, and they're not giving you the truth behind the scene, like, the behind the scenes preparation in order to take those perfect pictures. Okay, so everyone's got their own struggles in life, and I feel that some people are better at hiding it, and that's what you're not getting as well. Okay, in terms of family situation, I do sense really strong support and love coming from for your family unit. And I feel like that's one of the areas you might be overlooking. Okay, so get back to your roots. Being grounded is going to be important for the next 2 weeks. I feel that you have a lot of love and support coming from your immediate family. So this can be extended family, also nuclear family, but I feel like especially your own children, you have a lot of joy and contentment, and especially from parents as well. So a lot of you might be taking trips to go see parents, to go see kids, to really reunite with the family unit. And it is the summertime, so a lot of people tend to travel anyways, but I definitely feel like if you feel that sense of estrangement, reach out to them. Okay, don't isolate yourself for this month, because the energy for family support and it is overwhelmingly positive. I do feel like long-standing disputes and estrangement between family members will be lifted for this month. And I do sense as well that I do feel that you're going to free yourself from a lot of restrictions and bondage. Okay, I'm getting that for some of you. This is once again coming through with the drinking alcohol, and overall any dependency issues, relationships, fantasizing about the life that you want, and being stuck in that fantasy mode, and especially like escapism. Yeah, there we go, escapism. Drinking alcohol, longing for being stuck in unhealthy relationships. I feel that it's a problem. I do sense that. Most of the time we know when we've got some issues that we need to deal with, but we choose not to deal with it, or we find like we jump from one addiction to the next. Okay, and I do sense that you are gonna have to get some help if you're dealing with this, and you're not able to see the way out. So, try to get some help. Try to get somebody that can be there for you. And I'm sensing like drinking for a few people. So, what I'm feeling is, a lot of the times when we're tackling a major codependent relationship, or even addiction issues, or even, a form of escapism, we feel like, the whole concept of doing something cold turkey, it sounds really scary. It sounds very daunting, and it sounds overwhelming. And the thing that they really want you to understand is one step at a time. So for example, if you talk to somebody who, quit smoking 20 years ago, for example, and then you tell them like, how did you do it? And do you still crave it? They're going to tell you, yes, I do crave it every day. It's not easy. It's not like that thing that you walk away from, and then you never confronted with it again. There's still that sense of temptation, there's still that sense of lure, and there's always, the longing and the craving. But you're gonna have to decide, and to try to put things into perspective. Okay, you're doing all of these things for health reasons, and nothing else. So, your health means a lot more to you than this temporary fix that you're getting from whatever substance, whatever relationship or partner, or whatever it is that you find yourself um, codependent upon. Okay, so keep that in mind. I do feel for some of you guys it's like alcohol, others it's food, others it might be sex addiction too. I do sense that. Um, and I feel that, for the past, let's say, for the past 5 months, I do feel like this situation has come in and interfere with some issues, some, events in your life. And you're realizing that you need to do something about it, and you might reach out to other people for help. So good for you, Geminis. It's really important to know, where we are giving our power away so that we can regain control in our lives, okay? So I feel like for the past, like 5 months ago, so let's just say 5 months ago in March, I feel like things around you were kind of like spinning out of control. And I feel this is the month for you to regain your power, regain your strength, regain your footing, okay? So I hope the message is helpful for those of you who are going through this. The message is very specific, so I hope it is helpful, and I hope that you try your best to get some help regarding this issue, and that you take care of yourself. But either way, I do feel taking care, being more health conscious for a lot of you, doing more physical activities, getting out more. That's going to be required as well. And I'm also sensing that for others of you who are specifically dealing with a fire sign and you don't know which direction to turn so much, like you're kind of like at an impasse. What do I do? On the one hand, I really like this person. On the other hand, you know, a lot of you might be have a family and you like the other person, but you don't know where to go. And you feel like you have to act because you feel like they're turning their back and they're drifting away. Well, you have to resolve your own issues first with your family, if you're in a relationship and you're attracted to somebody else outside of the relationship, I mean, that's a problem, right? So you have to get to the root of what you need to do. Inviting a person into our lives when our lives is not stable, it's it creates a lot of problems. You can see that, right? Like it just it's not a courtesy, like out of courtesy for the other person. Get your life straightened out first before you can have stable, meaningful relationships, okay? So out of courtesy for the other person, straighten things out in your own life before you invite them in, all right? So Gemini, a little bit of a heavy message, and I apologize, but I hope it resonates with someone so that you can, get some help if you need to. All right. I do wish you all the best.